So I gotta come clean here with you guys before we start this video. The thumbnail and the title of this video is full-blown clickbait. But it's beneficial clickbait. It's clickbait that's gonna help you. That's because none of the headsets we're gonna talk about here are $100. Wait a minute, how's that gonna help you? Spending this extra 20 bucks is really going to make your experience that much better. So again, I do apologize for my clickbait, but trust you me, this is beneficial, helpful clickbait. Now in this video here, I am gonna do the sound, the build, the comfort of course, and all that, and we'll do the mic test, but if I bypass something or some sort of detail, I did do standalone, very detailed, comprehensive reviews of each headset we're gonna be talking about here. So if you want any more of that, make sure to go check those out. But right here, we're gonna briefly go over these three headsets and decide which is the best for you. First on our list is going to be the SteelSeries Arctis 7 Plus wireless headset. Now we have the Destiny version here. This one is not going to be on the sale. You're gonna be able to get the basic black or white ones, I believe. And these are coming in at 125 bucks, being the highest priced headset on our list here. Now let's go on and get this headset out here and take a look at it. Again, don't look at the cosmetics because this is the Destiny version. You'll have the straight black one. But as far as the core, they're the exact same. And as you see, you got that full swivel on this headset, a little bit forward, bam, even a little bit further than forward back right there, so plenty of adjustment for the head. As you see, you got this floppy headband, which just floats up there. I absolutely love this design. You adjust it right there, so you don't have any of that traditional headband adjustment. You have it right by the Velcro, which I'm sure we're all very used to this. This is the older SteelSeries design right here. Still very, very good design, but again, as you notice, they changed it into Novas. As far as these pads, you all know I love these pads. Super plush, breathable, still pleather line on the inside to lock in some of that sound. Very easy to replace. They just pry right off. You got this little lip right here on the inside. That's how you put them back on. You tuck them and then just roll them right around. Bam, and your ear pads back on. Again, wicked cushions fit on these, make it that much better, but the stock pads are super plush, super big, and plenty wide. And as far as weight of this headset, they are coming in at 360 grams. And you all know, me and the SteelSeries Arctis line, we get along very well. You put this headset on and mamma mia, it is so stinking cozy, hands down. It just, gosh, it just sits. And I don't game with the hat on, as you all know, but again, this headband, it distributes the weight perfectly. It's not pinching, it's not grabbing, it's not, oh man, it is so incredibly comfortable. One of the most cozy headsets out there. We got one that's right there with it in this lineup as well, but no joke, this is so incredibly stinking cozy. It really is. Now, as far as build on the Arctis 7, this is probably the one area where most people get a little questionable. That is right down here. You got your little arm, which is plastic, going into the ear cup, goes into this little bracket, which is plastic. Now your headband up here is metal, which honestly doesn't mean much, right? Because again, our key points, plastic, 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 and then this is metal. But when you stretch this out, you really don't get worried. The headband stops you. As you see, it tightens up. It kind of stops you right there from bending out. Now, I used my Arctis Pros for a long time, as you all know, and this did start to loosen up. This little piece right here, so it created, you can see it's got a little bit of movement right there. Over time, that will loosen up more. Mine never broke on me, but people have had issues with this. I can't speak on that. That's just what people state online. Again, I've used them for years, and they just loosened up. They never broke on me. So as far as build, I mean, let's just be careful with our stuff, guys. Don't drop it, don't toss it around or anything, and you'll be perfectly fine. Now let's go and take a look at features and functions on the Arctis 7. On the back right ear cup, starting off, you have your power button here, then you have your game to chat wheel, tops out at the highest, bottoms out the lowest, and you got a nice tactile step right in the middle there. Fling it over to the back of the left ear cup, you have mic mute button, your volume up, volume down, tops out at the highest, bottoms at the lowest. You got that SteelSeries 3.5 cable that you can plug in there. This 3.5 port is your share port, so if you got someone sitting next to you, you can listen to it that way as well. Then you have your USB-C charge port and your retractable microphone. Now, as far as the Arctis 7s, they are connected wirelessly by this little tiny USB-C dongle here, and you get up to 30 hours of battery life. Now, as far as range of the Arctis 7s here, it is the worst out of the bunch here, and it's honestly one of the worst of many headsets I've tested. SteelSeries states 40 feet, but I can't even make it to my kitchen. It starts disconnecting, staticky, and just totally just losing connection right there. I don't think that's a really big, turn off or flaw that should steer you away from it? Because honestly, do you need your sound whenever you're off in a kitchen or off in a bathroom? Hopefully not. Hopefully you're leaving your headset on your desk right there, you know what I mean? So again, I want to let you know about it. It is the worst out of the bunch, but again, I don't think it's something that should really steer you away. Now let's go and talk about sound on the SteelSeries Arctis 7 Plus here. 40mm drivers, frequency range of 20 to 20,000. I think a lot of us are very familiar with that classic SteelSeries sound. We all know they just came out with the Novas, but again, these are significantly different from the Novas. The Novas have more bass, more mids, all right? I'm not covering the Novas, but I want to give you that vibe because I think a lot of you will be questioning that. Coming to the classic style, why this was my main headset for so long back in the days is this is a fantastic sound for FPS games. It's definitely geared more towards the highs. You get a lot of that great directional sound if someone's behind you, someone's around you right there. Why is that? Well, that's because there's not much bass in this headset. There just isn't. And if you go into SteelSeries software and try to create an EQ, which is what I do, you're still going to get more mids than that solid hit of bass or even a punch of bass. It's going to be more mids, a rounded out bass. This headset is hands down geared more towards the highs, and that is very beneficial for Rainbow Six, Fortnite, Apex, anything that you're looking for footsteps. Again, talking about it being mine a few years back, because that's mainly what I played. Now I like a little bit more story, a little bit more immersion. I play a lot of Destiny and some other story games and such. So for me, no, this headset, again, isn't my main anymore, because I want a different sound now. And even going through an EQ, you can't really pull out that sound. This is hands down geared more towards those highs, those footsteps, the FPS, that competitive player. You're going to love this sound. Now, the SteelSeries Arctis 7 Pluses are coming in at $125, the highest on this list right here. But again, if you're that dedicated FPS, you want those footsteps, you want that directional sound, you want that really crisp, crystal clear detail, that's what you're going to get right here. And I think you're going to have a great time with it. And the whole package around it right here, the sound, the comfort is phenomenal. I think the style looks great. You get a really awesome headset right here at $125. But again, hear me out. I would put this as that FPS, that detail-oriented player. That's where the 7 Pluses are going to shine. Next up is the new headset from Corsair, the HS65 wireless. This headset's coming in at $120. That's regular MSRP as well. That's not even on sale, so you might be able to find these guys cheaper. And when we take a look at the Corsair HS65 headset, wow, this headset is just stylish. Me personally, I love the way it looks. But of course, we got to kick it off with that comfort. As you see, you got that full swivel, a little bit forward, a little bit back right there. Ear cups in and out. Now you got your traditional adjustment on this headset. Bam, clicks in. You can hear the clickiness. Holds its position really nice. It gets nice and small and nice and very big right there, as you can see. Now, one thing I want to point out as far as the comfort, and see I'm holding this as pretty much like a standard head. If I pull it out, what are you noticing right here? That headband up here is staying the exact same shape. Now that I give you an idea, I want you to keep an eye on it. Standard head shape right here. Pull it wider. Bam, bring it low. Pull it wider, that head shape or that headband stays pretty much the exact same size. Now, as far as the ear pads on the HS65, very, very nice. You got that silky material on the outside right there, which is on your face, and it's really nice because it gives you kind of that cool to touch type of feel. Inside, pleather, outside, pleather. As far as changing these, they just twist, bam, and they pop off like that. So as far as getting an interchangeable set, probably not going to be as easy. You have to find someone that makes the actual bracket for it. Now again, as far as a headband up there, plenty of plushness, but again, it does hold its shape. Now as far as the weight on the HS65 wireless, they are coming in at 278 grams, which puts them lighter than the SteelSeries ones we just looked at. And you do feel that in the hand. I mean, this headset is incredibly lightweight for a wireless headset. And when you put it on your head, it is, it is incredibly cozy. It is stinking cozy. It really is. Again, as far as that headband, where I'm talking about it keeping shape, which you can see right there on my bald head, it kind of wraps right around. Why I mention that and who that's going to affect is maybe if you got, number one, a wider head, or more importantly, a big fluffy head of hair, because again, I think you might feel some pressure with that again holding its shape. I don't know. you can see I don't have any hair right here, so I can't speak on that. That's just what I'm thinking. But as far as the ear pads, cool to the touch. They feel really nice. Not getting any pressure points. The clamping force is just below a medium clamping force, which I forgot to mention on the SteelSeries one. The clamping force is the exact same, just below medium, pretty much just like this right here. They're not going to fall off, but again, they're not pinching you or grabbing onto your head by any means. And as far as the build on the HS65, just looking them over, they're very similar to the SteelSeries, just like the right. You got your ear cup here, you got that bracket swinging over, and then it goes into your headband. Now, of course, you got the traditional headband here, which is metal reinforced, but the cool thing is going into these two brackets right here where we had the issue on the SteelSeries is these are actually metal. Metal, metal, metal. Now, of course, going into here is plastic, but I don't think we're going to have many issues right there. Again, our key points are pretty much right here in that little joint, that adjustment right there where you're going to be flexing them whenever you pull them out or twisting them up or anything like that. That's where the majority of your stress is going to be. And with all this being metal, wow, this thing is built solid, again, when we're thinking about a budget gaming headset. So as you're catching me talking about the comfort and build of the HS65, I can't stress it enough. When you get this in your hand and you start looking it over everything, you don't get budget vibes. You're like, how the heck is this regular MSRP at 120 bucks? It's just phenomenal. I love what Corsair did here. Now, features and functions on the HS65, back right ear cup. As you see, you have your power button and then your Bluetooth button, because yes, you do have Bluetooth on this as well. It's not simultaneous, it's one or the other, but again, it's cool that you have it. It will prioritize a phone call, but if you want to listen to music or your game, it's either one or the other right there. Back left ear cup, up here, you have your mic mute button. It's a clicky button, not one of the ones you press in. Then you got your volume wheel, clicky tactile steps, but it is continuously rolling top and bottom. You have your USB-C charger. Now the HS65s connect by this USB-A dongle here, and you get up to 24 hours of battery life with this headset. Now talking about sound on the HS65 wireless here, holy smokes, this thing is phenomenal. But it's not phenomenal out of the box. Talking about out of the box, 50mm drivers, frequency range 20 to 20,000 here. Again, we're running it wireless. And when I talk about out of the box, you're really presented with a flat sound. It's not a bad sound, so don't catch me right there. But again, you can pull it out to so much more. Maybe that's how I should have put it, right? Because out of the box, it's not like, let me get rid of them. But when you dive into IQ software and pull out an EQ, kind of like what I'm showing you right here, holy moly, this headset just comes to life, smacks you in the face, and shows you what it can deliver. Now, of course, sound is going to be different from person to person. Maybe use my EQ and just kind of tweak it from there and create your own. But the other cool thing about the HS65 is they have Sound ID. Sounds gimmicky, right? But it's pretty cool. You can dive in IQ, answer a few questions. Do you like this sound or this sound? It kind of throws some stuff at you, you know what I mean? Do you like more bass or less bass? And it'll pull out to an EQ that is suitable for you. And believe it or not, when I did mine, I went through the questionnaire and all that, it pulled out an EQ that was very, very similar to what I had right there. Maybe a little bit more bass, but it was pretty darn close. That was really awesome because, again, dabbling with all those bars can be kind of tedious and intimidating, you know what I mean? But when you just go through a basic questionnaire like that and then pull something out that is actually true and pretty close, again, from my experience, that is really cool. And let me tell you guys, when you dial in this headset, holy moly, it is beyond a budget gaming headset. It really is. It is phenomenal for story games, for FPS. You're getting that detail. You're getting that crisp sound that just pulls that environment out and pulls out like weaponry loads, footsteps, that dialogue, and everything's just like that movie theater type of feel. Like you kind of get those chills sometimes, like, oh wow, that was cool. I want to experience that again. That's what you got with this, you know what I mean? You had bass, not rumbly bass. You had that crispy bass. You had them crispy highs. The mids just sat here and just kind of helped out, you know what I mean? But again, the core of this is when you dial it in and really pull out the sound that this can deliver, you can make something really exciting with this headset. And that's the best way to explain the sound of this headset. It's very exciting. So again, the Corsair HS65 is coming in at 120 bucks regular MSRP. So again, heck, you might be able to find them at that $100 or under $100 price range eventually during a sale. But even at 120 bucks, this headset is a hands down phenomenal recommend in my book right here. If you want to save any more money, I know we're talking wireless here, but if you want to save some more money, you can get the wired version, which is just as good as this. Of course, it's not wireless, But again, if you want to save a little bit more money, check out the wired version as well. This headset is fantastic. The last headset on our list is the Razer BlackShark V2 Pros. Yes, they finally dropped in price, and you can get these bad boys for right at $112 right now. Yes, you are seeing I have the Rainbow Six Siege version. The ones that are $112 are going to be the solid black ones, but you can find the solid white ones on sale quite a bit as well. I just love the Siege ones. But anyways, looking at this headset right here, a little bit different than some of the other ones we're seeing. We don't have that traditional swivel. But as you're seeing, with these held on by these little brackets right here, these little wires, whenever I twist it, it goes in and it goes out right to form into that shape of any head out there. You're not getting any pinching, no pressure or anything on this. And talking about that, the ear pads on this headset are absolutely phenomenal. Plush pillows, I love them. Inside, you got the little padding down there as well. And that's one thing some people may experience with this. As you see, when I press them down, they're not very deep. They're plenty big, but they're not very deep. And with them being so soft and you press them down, yes, your ears are going to sit on this. Hence the reason I think why they got that padding right there. It's not going to pinch you or anything, but again, you are going to feel your ears resting on the drivers in there. Now, a quick little spoiler here. As you can see, yes, Wicked Cushions is making pads for the BlackShark V2 Pros now. I'll talk about these a lot more later on, but I just want to show you the difference. Like, holy smokes, that just transformed this headset. Take a look at the stock pad, the size of it compared to the Wicked Cushion right there. Massive difference, and your ears are not going to touch the driver if that is an issue for you. I'll talk about these more in a future video. And that plushness and comfort goes right up into the headband. As you see that, like, just look how big and plush that is. I mean, this thing is an absolute pillow on your head. And you have that sports weave material up here and on the ear pads. So you're not going to get all sweaty and you're not going to get that grimy feeling whenever you're gaming with these for a long session. Then when we take a look at the weight of the BlackShark V2 Pros, they are coming in at 310 grams. So I believe it puts it right in the middle ground of the SteelSeries and the Corsairs. So just like as I showed you in the comfort there, that goes right in line with the build of the BlackShark V2 Pros. They're a little bit different. As you see, you got these little metal wires going into these plastic arms, the plastic ear cup, and then right up here. You don't have that traditional adjustment, swivel, or headband adjustment or anything. It slides up and down. Now, some people I've heard have been worried about this loosening up over time. Mine still holds its position very well, but even with it holds its position well, it will slide out a little bit here and there. You just have to catch yourself a little micro adjustment. When it's on you, you take it and you just kind of pinch it up. Now, it's not like sliding all the way off on you by any means, but again, you might have to catch a micro adjustment here or there on this headset. Now, as far as the build of this, having the plastic arms right there, that was my worry in my initial review, right? If you're setting this down over time, over and over and over, are these going to break? I never noticed any issue with that. Now, when I set my headset down, it's usually on a mouse pad. So again, maybe that's for me. And I don't get worried about it. When I twist it up or bend it up, again, these ear pads and these little hooks, just let them dance around right there. So I don't think that's going to be an issue for anything. As far as the build, it's different, but I really think it's beneficial here. And I can't say it enough. The comfort of the BlackShark V2 Pros is absolutely jaw-dropping phenomenal. Hands down, stinking cozy. It's like, it feels like a beanie. Like, I can't even say like a hat, right? Because a fitted hat's gonna tense to your head a little bit. Maybe the SteelSeries feel like a hat. These feel like a beanie. That's how we're gonna put it. Both stinking cozy though. Now, as far as features and functions on a Razer BlackShark V2 Pros, quite minimal here actually. On your back left ear cup, you have your power button. You got your mic mute, which is just a button to click in and out. You got your micro USB charge port, where you get up to 24 hours of battery life on this headset. You have your 3.5 port, so you can listen to it that way if your device has a 3.5 jack. Then you have your detachable microphone here with that included windscreen. Over here on the left ear, I love this. This is your volume control, and I absolutely love it being right here because you can simply locate it and just adjust, and you got a nice midpoint clicky tactile bump to let you know you're right there. And the BlackShark V2 Pros connect by a USB-A wireless dongle. Now, I want to talk about the lack of features and functions on the Razer BlackShark V2 Pros before we roll into sound, because when we look at the features and functions on this headset compared to the other two we just looked at, well, this headset is not taking any wins in that department, right? But I truly think it's a great thing on this headset. I love the simplicity and I love the minimalistic features on it. Number one, this microphone is detachable. As you see, it's in my hand. If I don't want this big old microphone sitting right there, I don't need it. Just take it off. It's not there. The volume wheel. it's always right there. I know how to adjust it. I don't know about you, but I adjust my volume a lot in my games. I absolutely love that. You know, it's so cool. My mute button, bam, it's right there. My microphone's muted if I needed that. That's all you really need to game, right? But there is no denying the other two headsets are taking a win as far as features and functions. I just had to stress how much I love the simplicity of the BlackShark V2 Pros. Now, what's not so simplistic on the BlackShark V2 Pros is the sound. These bad boys are packing the Razer 50mm Tri-Force drivers, the fixed range of 12 to 28,000. Swing back, let's talk about those Tri-Force drivers. What that's going to do is let every piece of sound breathe on its own. The bass, your mids, and then your highs. Really breathe on its own rather than one driver kind of pushing everything out right there, kind of, you know, just conforming and just trying to bleed out to each thing right there. You really get that separation right here. But the other thing about the BlackSharks, as I stated before, is they are mid or bass heavy. They're definitely more bass prominent, maybe a little bit more mids there, but it's still getting separated nicely. And that's what I love about this headset. I really do. Because I can play competitive, I can play story, and I'm still sitting very comfortable with this sound. You know, I'm getting that detail, I'm getting those footsteps, but I'm still getting like the rustling of the bushes or a score streak coming down. I'm getting immersed and thrown into that game. And again, talking about like a score streak thrown down, you're still gonna get some of that dialogue out there. Again, with that Tri-Force letting everything kind of do what it does. The sound of this headset, again, when I'm going through my test here, I probably had like 8 headsets out when I was doing this breakdown, right? But the sound of this really brought me out to what I look for in a headset these days, right? I want that immersion, but I still want that detail. I don't want to really give anything up, you know, because I'm not geared at one style of game, whether that be like FPS type of game, you know. I just love gaming in general. And if you're like that and you want that well-rounded sound that's going to give you a little bit of everything, bass, mids, highs, dialogue, footsteps, you know, immersion, that's the sound you got right here. It was just, wow, it was really awesome, immersive, full, very fun gaming sound. Now again, the Razer BlackShark V2 Pros are coming in at $112. That is currently for the solid black version, but every now and then you can find the white version on sale as well. I can't praise this headset enough, guys, since day one. What has this headset been out for, like a year and a half, maybe a little bit more, something like that? And it is still one of my favorites. This has got rave reviews from many people out there. It is just such a good headset.
And now for the mic test, and we're going to kick it off with the SteelSeries Arctis 7 Pluses right here. These microphone tests, or any of my microphone tests in any of my videos, are simply plugged and played, and I slap record. I don't tweak anything, I don't adjust anything. As far as my room, it's a basic standard room. I don't got a bunch of sound morphing or anything like that, any sound dampening. So again, you're going to get that traditional kind of just standard vibe right there. Now, SteelSeries headsets, their microphones are not known to be the best. They're a little tinny, a little airy, a little high-pitched, and that's kind of what you get right here, right? But I love the simplicity of them. As you see, it's right out here. As far as moldable, you can kind of put it up a little bit, but it's very loose. It's not very firm as far as wherever it holds it, but you can adjust it where you want. Retractable. Sorry, hope that wasn't too loud in your ears, but the cool thing is even if you retract it, as you see, it's still going to pick up. But of course, it's back here. When we're talking forward, it's going to be a lot lower. Let me go ahead and pull that back out, and as you can see, the microphone is back with us right now. My mute button is right on the back here, but other than that, I want you to focus on the front of it. You see, you get that little red light. As you saw when you press that mute button, it lights up red right there. But you also get a tone, a little beep in the headset, which is so stinking cool. I love that, having those multiple reminders whenever my microphone is muted to let me know, hey, it is actually muted. And now you're hearing the microphone on the Corsair HS65 wireless here. Now, one thing I want to point out to you is whenever I'm doing these mic tests as well, I'm leaving the volume at the exact same. And I can tell you the Corsair HS65s are picking up a little bit lower than the SteelSeries was. I don't know if that's a pro or con on each of them. We're going to have to hear this back. But one other reason why you're hearing the Corsair a little bit better now is you can see I have it bent in towards my mouth. That's here. You can see I got a dramatic bend. Now, this headset does have a mute button on the back. You press it back there, and you get a little tone in the headset as well, which you all know I love. But this headset also has a flip up to feature function. But as you just caught right there, with it bent forward to kind of catch my voice a little bit more, you really can't use that flip up feature because it's going to whack you in the forehead every time. So pretty much to use the flip up feature, you got to keep the microphone bent out a little bit more. I'm over here talking with the microphone muted all the time. But as you can see, the microphone's flipped up right there with it being straight out. And this is how the microphone sounds. So not as crystal clear, kind of in your face sound, but again, a little bit lower, maybe a little bit more manageable. So keep that in mind. If you want to use the flip up feature, the microphone's got to be straight. You can't really mold it in front of your mouth. A little bit of a stinker, but a little nitpick I noticed while I was testing this microphone. Now you're hearing a microphone from the Razer BlackShark V2 Pros. Now this microphone comes with this big old puffy pop filter on it right there, which is great for me as far as those P's, but again, it does kind of settle the sound down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and take it off right now. Oopsie daisy, you can see this thing is jumbo. But anyways, when I take it off right now, it's just a little bit more kind of crispy or sound kind of in your face. I like that muffled kind of broadcast sound, so I like to leave it on right there. But as you can see, I'm also pulling this BlackShark one very close to my mouth because the Razer microphones are very geared towards direction and a lot of their headsets these days. So if I pull this out a little bit more, you're going to see it's dramatically going to get significantly quieter right there. I mean, I can see on my graph, like it's a big difference. So maybe if you pull it halfway right there, this is what you're going to sound. And I kind of talk, I always talk at a little bit higher of a volume, you know, so if you talk lower, you're going to have to keep that in mind. You are going to have to get into your system and I think adjust the volume on the BlackShark headset to kind of crank up that microphone a little bit. If I take it right here and put it right in front of my mouth, like, I mean, it's right there. My lips are touching right. That's where it's going to start picking up a little bit more. With it being right in front of my mouth, is it still going to pick up clear? We're going to test that together. Me personally, I'd kind of be a midway type point person, and I'm really curious to see because, again, I can see it dropping down already. Is it still going to pick up good? I really recommend you're going to have to run into your settings and increase the volume on the BlackSharks.
So there we go. 3 awesome wireless budget gaming headsets that I highly recommend. I could have made this list much bigger and thrown in many other $50 or $100 wireless gaming headsets. Just said, oh, it's good in this area and that area. You know what I mean? These are 3 that I think are very impactful and will make your games that much more enjoyable. These 3 headsets I would recommend to my mom. I'd buy them for my son. You know what I mean? I would truly put my name all over these, but you have to break them down. What are you looking for? FPS, well-rounded, more story, something like that, vice versa. You're going to have to really break them apart within this video and decide what's right for you. For me, I'll tell you which one's my favorite. It's the Razer BlackShark V2 Pros. I absolutely love this headset for my current gaming type of style right there. But like I'm stating, guys, I know some of you out there have been asking what's best under $100. With these just being roughly around $20 more. Trust me here, please. And spend that extra $20 because I think your experience is going to be that much better. You're going to have that much better of a product than trying to pinch that little bit of money. Now, I know we can sit here all day long and say, well, just spend $10 more. Just spend $20 more. Next thing you know, you spend $50 to $100 more and you're a complete different bracket. These headsets I showed you today are really impactful headsets just for that mild amount of money more. I'm not telling you to spend more money over that. I'm just telling you that this little bit of extra money is going to make that much difference for you, right? I'm not trying to push extra sales or push like, oh, just spend this much more. Act like money doesn't have a value. Trust me, that's not my style. I'm just telling you that your experience is going to be that much better by spending $20 more. So all in all, I hope I was able to help you out in this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you got any other questions, ask right down in the comments. I'm always glad to talk shop. Everybody in the community is always glad to help out as well. So do not hesitate to ask right down in the comments. If you want any more help, swing over to my website, stinkingcozy.com. Always glad to talk shop over there as well. But again, thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Bye now.